hard to remember the last time I went fishing in such glorious conditions in England. The wind forecast for today's force 1 to 3 maximum. The sun's shining. We're going out to the middle of the English Channel on the Brighton Diver to try and catch some conger eels. Nigel Botherway's with me and some of my old colleagues from, let's say, a former life. And we're looking forward to a cracking day out in the ocean.
First job of the day is to catch some bait, and I tell you what, I hope we're as successful as catching conger as we are bait, because there's plenty of mackerel down there, as you can see. In fact, I've only got 2 there. I think Keith's got 4 on.
As long as you don't catch conger 4 at a time, we'll be fine.
That'd be good fun. Look at the colours on that. Beautiful little mackerel.
We're about 20 miles south of Brighton on a small wreck. It's actually a wreck of a U-boat. We've got some chum down and got the anchor into it, and we're going to see if we can get some nice congers. They seem to like submarines for some reason.
There's the bait, nice fresh mackerel, and that's actually a catfish hook, but I'm sure it'll work for a conger. There's the rig, just a free running 10-ounce lead on a boom, which will help stop tangles. And what conger could resist that? Mono hook link, about £150 I think that is. Braided main line, and I'm just going to feel that down to the bottom. Just control it with my thumb so I don't get an overrun. You don't want to let it go down too quick, again it might tangle. Just control it. There we go, that's just touched the bottom. Reel into gear. And that's it. That scent will now drift down. We've got the anchor up that end, tide's going this way, and that scent will drift down into the wreck, and hopefully conger will come out, fancy his breakfast.
We're right on the edge of the English Channel shipping lanes here, and Paul's got a computer in there that tells him which boats are coming and where they're going to, and the names of the boats, etc. And the freighter you can see there was almost on a collision course with us. So Paul called him up on the radio, and he actually changed course. It's very nice, isn't it? Otherwise, we might have been going to Oman on the front of one of those.
Well, I've had lots of little taps from small fish, but this, I hope, is the one I came out here for. And this is what's fantastic about sea fishing. I'm used to fishing rivers and lakes where you know what the possibilities are, whereas here it's like being a little boy. You drop it down to the bottom of the seabed and you never know what's going to grab hold. And whatever this is, it's pulling back quite hard. There it is. I can just see it. That's the biggest conger I've ever caught. Look at that, straight in the landing net. Gotcha! There we go. My 3rd ever and my biggest conger. I'm going to slip her back. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, splash. Badosh.
Well, the tide slackened a bit, and I remember we had Dave Lewis on the show a little while ago, and he said if you can get a cuttlefish to stay down there, use a cuttlefish. He said the trouble is there's so many pouting, and Paul, the skipper today, said the pouting tear it to bits. But he bought some cuttlefish out especially for me, and Will stuck one on, a nice big one, and it's been down there, it's been tap, 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 tap with the pouting, and suddenly there was a slightly more substantial tap, and this is the result. Look at him spinning like a top. Good angling. Well done, Captain. Well done, Wilder, mate. There he is, like an eel, only smaller. Let's get him back. You can see, look, something's had a chunk out of him. Look at that dorsal fin. And there's scratch marks on his side too. Back you go.
He wasn't exactly Tom Daly. This one's been living in a submarine and he came out for my mackerel and he's doing his best now to go back in there.
Definitely is, isn't he? Once you get them coming, I know you did, but it's just so important to keep those fish coming, because as soon as they get a chance to swim backwards, they get backwards, they get the tail around a bit of the superstructure, and that's it. It's good night nurse. You're going to lose them.
Take no prisoners.
No.
Look at the bend in that rod.
Yep. And it's lovely as well now, because with braided lines, you can use these relatively light rods. This is a 20-pound class. I think Nigel's is a 20-pound class. And in the old days, you'd have been using big, heavy broom handles and 50 or 80-pound line with loads of weight, because it's the only way you'll hold down there. In fact, some of these wrecks weren't fishable with mono because you just couldn't get your bait to stay down in the tide. With braid, which is, I mean, that's as thin as... What,
about 12-pound mono?
8 to 12-pound line. That's 50-pound breaking strain, that braid. You saw how much the rod bent with it. Oh,
that'll
Nigel,
do.
What's that?
Oh, no!
That was a big lad, that was.
Oh.
That was, and you know what's happened, didn't you? He's chased through the line.
Oh, no.
That was a big, big lad, that one. Wasn't it? That was a real big one. This feels like a more substantial fish, trust me. And when these fish pull, you're wasting your time pulling back. You've just got to let the reel and the drag do the work. But when they stop, you've got to make hay while the sun shines and get as much line back on the reel as you can. Now, I've got a bit of colour, there he is. That's a nice fish. Look at that. Now that's a braided on that eel's teeth. That's 200-pound mono. And it's just broken as we got it into the boat. And if I'd have let that go and given it a bit more slack and not pulled like I did, that'd have had an extra 10 seconds in the water and we'd have lost the fish.
Ready?
This is what they call an assisted lift. That's over 60 pound, that fish, Paul, yeah?
It's also what they call a great day's fishing.
It's been absolutely fantastic, and what a way to finish it, eh? That's what you call an eel. Get the jelly out. And they all went back alive and as happy as they possibly could be. A couple of odd things happened there. First of all, we caught some really good pollock on those big conger baits. You know, we fished 20-pound fluorocarbon and all that. Yeah. We got 200-pound mono on and a mackerel, pollock, bosh, grab hold of them. But Nigel caught the blackest conger eel I have ever seen. When I've seen a few dark ones, they all that sort of normal congery slate grey colour. But have a look at this. It was sort of, it was a browny, purpley, blacky colour.
Come out of the depths of the wreck.
Do they? But it was all over. Its belly was the same. Its eyes. It really looked like something that had come straight from the bowels of hell.
We get them in Ireland like that, black, and it's like a red cod that's been in the kelp. They just take on the colour. Okay, he's deep in the wreck, I expect.
But they're difficult to get hold of as well. You've got that little sort of grip almost behind the gills if you can get them. And of course we keep the deck really wet so they don't stick or anything. But you just look how dark that is. You saw the others. That is a remarkably dark fish,
Very.